So I'm on a dog walk right now and I thought it would be a great time to quickly record a video for you because I did have a topic that just came to mind, and it's something that someone asked me about, which was why are they not losing weight even though they're in a calorie deficit? So today's video is going to be a few reasons why you might not be losing weight in a calorie deficit. And now the reason why I can comfortably break down these points for you is because I am a personal trainer. I have been for many years now, and I do specialize in weight loss as well. And then as well as that, do make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Otherwise, let's get stuck into the specific points, again in no particular order. I think it is important to clarify what a calorie deficit is before I break down the reasons why. So a calorie deficit, just put in simple terms, is when you consume fewer calories relative to the number of calories that you need to maintain your body weight. Now, point number one for real this time is you're not actually in a calorie deficit. Now, I know this is a point that's very easy to quickly get defensive about, but just hear me out, because most people who struggle with their weight, potentially you included, 100% overestimate how much you're actually consuming, because there is a massive difference between actually physiologically being in a calorie deficit and just being in a calorie deficit mindset. And this isn't to say that you're never in a calorie deficit. You could very well be in a calorie deficit on some days, but over the long term, when you average things out, you're definitely not in one. And then on to point number two, you are guessing way too frequently, because chances are you don't have enough experience to be guessing. And now, whether or not you think this point applies to you, I would recommend tracking everything you eat and drink for 30 days and 30 consecutive days. So that means days you don't feel like it as well. Because I can guarantee you, if you've never done that before, then you will learn some mind-blowing lessons on the back of that, and the education that you gain from it will last you a lifetime. Now on to point number three, and this is actually something I see very often from people who are struggling to lose weight whilst they are tracking their calories, and this is the fact that you don't track everything in the moment. And the reason why I say that is because memory does play up. And right now, if this is you, you might be tracking everything maybe at the end of the day, or even worse, maybe the next day. And again, it's like I said, memory does play up. I can't even remember what I had for lunch yesterday. So for you to log everything you had the day before for the correct foods, the correct portion sizes, the quantities, and then expect yourself to have enough accuracy from that, then that's exactly why you're struggling. Now imagine if you're consistently doing that over the long term. Maybe once in isolation is okay, but again, if you're consistently doing that every single day throughout the week, then that could definitely be a reason why, because that's going to result in a lot of inaccuracy. And now there's three more points left, and point number four is you are using exercise to put you in a deficit, or at least you're trying to, because that's not going to work. You cannot out-exercise what you eat and drink. Again, if your goal is weight loss, you are going to have to focus on your nutrition first, and then you can look at exercise as a complementary sort of thing. I wouldn't even worry about using exercise to lose weight, because if anything, if you're exercising specifically to burn calories, specifically to lose weight, then that can very well lead to a negative relationship with exercise. So again, if your goal is weight loss, then focus on nutrition first, more specifically being in a calorie deficit, and then exercise as well, because it's good for you. And then the improvements that you're only going to gain on the back of the exercise is only going to improve the quality of your life as well. And then point number five is you are not consistent. And one thing I can very well tell you as a coach who's worked with many people, and research shows this as well, is that most people, potentially you included, overestimate their consistency levels. And there's nothing worse than someone who complains about a lack of results when they're not being consistent. So my advice to you is start a consistency calendar. And I would definitely recommend this if you have no idea why you're not losing weight and you feel like you're doing everything right. So again, start a consistency calendar, and for every day you hit your step goal, your calorie goal within the range of maybe 100 calories give or take, and you do a workout where applicable, mark it as a consistent day. And for any day you miss one of those, mark it as an inconsistent day. And by the end of the month, you should have at least 85% consistency. And alongside starting that consistency calendar, if you want a free fat loss guide, then I can give you my free fat loss guide from my website, and I'll leave the link for that in the caption of this video. So again, it's a free fat loss guide. If you want it, then it's yours. Again, link in caption. And now onto the final point, which is point number six. You are making progress. You are just being impatient. Now, the fitness industry is rife on false promises, quick fixes. Everything is in a 4-week timeline, 8-week timeline, 10-week timeline. And then you see these crazy progress pictures, a lot of which are lies, photoshops. And again, there is no doubt that seeing all of this constantly throughout your entire life has 100% skewed your expectations for what you think a reasonable timeline for change is. So again, my advice to you on the back of this is, if you are making progress, even if you feel like you're only losing a little bit of weight and it's not as much as you think it should be, then again, you are making progress. Things are happening, because at the end of the day, if measurements are going down, and or progress pictures are improving, and or scale weight is going down, and your habits are improving, and old clothes are fitting better, then you are seeing progress. You just need more patience. And my best advice to you on the back of this is just assume what you want is going to take 1 year. And that's my best advice. Forget 10 weeks, forget 12 weeks, forget whatever timeline it is you have in your mind. Give yourself 1 year, and like that, you won't put so much pressure on yourself for how quickly you think things should be happening. Because again, one year is a very sensible timeline for change, and you can do a lot in that time. Otherwise, if you want to hear more from me and you did like this video, then you will definitely enjoy my podcast, which I have it on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts as well. It's on all sorts. So I'll leave the link for those podcasts in the caption of this video too. Again, if you like this video, then do drop a like as well, share it with your group chat, and subscribe to the channel too if you haven't already, because that does help immensely as well. Otherwise, take care and I'll see you around.